Continuing our ongoing gem series, today we're turning to a grouping of garnets that are merely mentioned in the series, but have their big moments in the mobile games. As always, we'll be looking at their history, personality, and design, and then turn to their real-world counterparts to see if they influence their character or aesthetic. Hit that subscribe button and bell and grab a delicious cookie cat snack. I'm Chris Carr, and today I'm talking to you about the garnets from the Steven Universe games. Before we dive in, I want to give a shout out to our super nerd sponsors of the day, Axel and Ares. Thanks to gems like them, I get to keep talking about space rocks with y'all. So thank you so much. Me, Brett, Whitney, and Song all really appreciate it, especially while we're struggling to work away from our studio. Thanks, guys. We're excited to announce that Nerdwire is partnering with our sister brands, The Fumble and Holly Scoop, in a fundraising campaign for the Equal Justice Initiative. The EJI is an incredible nonprofit organization that provides legal aid and assistance to those who need it most. There's a link below where you can donate directly to them. I'll fill you in with more details at the end of this video. Now, a bit about the games. These are turn-based RPG mobile games that do fit into the SU timeline. Rebecca Sugar wrote the stories, and the original cast voiced the games. So, honestly, leaps and bounds above your average mobile. I may give away a few plot points on them, I'm gonna try not to, but I just wanted to give you a heads up in case you don't want any spoilers. I'm gonna be completely transparent with y'all and let you know I'm not a big gamer. I'm pretty selective with the video games I play, and tend to just revisit my old N64 and SNES faves, with the occasional Final Fantasy or weird crawlers like Broforce. I'm more of a video game viewer than an active player. So researching these games, I definitely went in with a lot of assumptions, but I actually had a lot of fun playing these. I am by no means an expert gamer, but I can personally vouch for it being a good time, and doing a wonderful job of filling in your Steven Universe void. Unlike the Crystal Gem Garnet, these garnets were singular gems, not fusion, and were loyal to the Diamond Authority, commanding fleets and colonies. These gems, though, only appear in the Steven Universe games, not the actual show. The Garnet we know and love is thought to have chosen her name because she felt she looked like these gems. Hessonite is depicted in a drawing in Monster Reunion and is mentioned by Nephrite in Legs from Here to Homeworld, while Demantoid and Pyrope are mentioned by name by Blue Diamond in the episode Together Alone. Let's first focus on Hessonite. Hessonite was Senti's, aka Nephrite's commander. She's the main antagonist in Save the Light. Hessonite is a pompous homeworld commander who makes her way to Earth in hopes of retrieving the lost prism and transform it back into a powerful weapon. To loop you in, light prisms were given to high-ranking gems like garnets. These prisms contain an army of visible light. We see Hessonite exhibit a lot of self-loathing in her debut game. She fully buys into the Diamond's caste system, what she said, and she believes she's a lesser gem, and even believes that she's defective and needs the prism to be the gem she's meant to be. The caste system's rigorous standards and flawed ideology placed immense pressure upon her, leading her to lash out and be confrontational. She wanted to be the great warrior Homeworld had claimed she was, and demanded her to be. But after interacting with Steven and the prism, she questions if that's truly her path. We see the pressure of expectation as a common theme in Steven Universe, particularly in Steven Universe Future. With Hessonite, we see how routine stress, the pressure of daily work performance standards, how that can affect one and their actions. By checking in with herself at the end of the game and re-examining her priorities about her self-image, Hessonite is doing herself a massive favor. Suppressing feelings of inadequacy is incredibly damaging, especially over a long period of time. And I'm going to assume, given the lifespan of gems, Hessonite has been grappling with these feelings of being less than for a long time. And I think it's something we can all relate to. I definitely have had problems in the past of feeling like I'm not living up to expectations, or feeling like an imposter. Challenging our own personal tendency toward self-loathing is one of the greatest uses of our time and energy. The next time we see our gal, she's turned a new leaf, and she has a lot more confidence in the gem she's becoming. Hessonite returns and Unleash the Light, thinking she's disguised herself thanks to a scarf. This Hessonite shows real remorse for her previous actions, especially when it comes to the prism, who has now named himself George. And even though she's a kinder, gentler Hessonite, she still definitely has a flair for the theatrical. Which of course she does. Why waste the talents of Christine Berlansky on less? Inspired by Ziggy Stardust, Hessonite has heterochromia, 2 different colored eyes, and markings that match the shape of the prism on her eye. We can assume she possesses the standard set of gem abilities like enhanced speed, durability, and the ability to fuse. We also know she is excellent with a sword. She can deliver crazy amounts of damage with her strikes and slashes. In real life, Hessonite Garnet is a yellow-orange to reddish-orange variety of garnet. We absolutely see this coloring throughout Hessonite's design. The name Hessonite comes from the ancient Greek word for inferior. This stone is less hard and has a lower density than other garnets, and its own etymology harkens to Hessonite's struggle. Clearly, this idea of inferiority played a big part in Hessonite's self-image issues. Let's move on to those antagonists from Unleash the Light, Demantoid and Pyrope. Era 3 is being ushered in, which leads Demantoid, along with Pyrope, to cut off communication with Homeworld. They conduct themselves all business as usual, despite the Great Diamond Authority being obsolete. Steven learns from some of the pearls that these two still have prisms in operation, so he takes the crystal gems with him to meet these garnets and try to talk things out with them. I'll stop talking plot points there, because I don't want to spoil this one for you since it is a newer game. It was released in the fall of 2019. Demantoid is a younger, Era 2 Garnet. Greatly influenced by her small stature defect, she feels it's necessary to fix the mistakes made by older gems. Much like Peridot 5XG when we first meet her, Demantoid uses limb enhancers. Generally speaking, she gives off a lot of Peridot vibes. Her uniform and coloring are pretty similar. Her gemstone is located on her forehead, right above that unibrow. She's incredibly analytical, and she speaks in a sort of cold, robotic way. That is until she's angry. Again, big Peridot energy here. Once again, I'm making the assumption that she has the standard set of gem powers, like enhanced strength and such. She also uses her prism-constructed limb enhancers as blasters in battle, and can produce a tractor beam from her hand. Her hands also can helicopter around the room. When we think of real-world Garnet, we typically visualize deep reds and orangey hues. However, a green Garnet is called a Demantoid. Like Hessonite, these garnets are softer than the typical variety. Large versions of this gemstone are difficult to find, and if they are bigger, they're usually flawed, cracked, or not up to color standards. This seems right in line with our character's design. We have the green coloring, and the stone typically being smaller would seem to play into Demantoid's smaller structure. While garnets have been around and used since ancient times, Demantoid wasn't discovered until the late 1860s in Russia, making this gem relatively new in gemological terms. This ties in with our character Demantoid being young for a gem. While I don't believe the calculating Demantoid would subscribe to the metaphysical properties of her real-world counterpart, those that do think Demantoid can enhance the brightness of the mind, which I interpret as sharpening one's intellect. Again, seems to make sense for her. This brings us to Pyrope. Like Demantoid, Pyrope ruled a colony from the Palace of Light. The two ignored Steven's galactic call to turn a new leaf, liberate their colonies, and ban all weapons. Instead, she and Demantoid banned their gems from making contact with Homeworld, or even mentioning Era 3. Pyrope is pure aristocrat. I mean, look at this fancy French attire! She wants to flaunt her status and immediately advertise her place in the caste system. I think noting that this is a pre-French Revolution look is very important, as that was a period of far-reaching political and social upheaval in France and its colonies, which is really what Era 3 is all about, just with way less guillotines. Through the game, we learn that Pyrope is a bit of a snob, easily distracted, and often abandons a task without completing it. That said, she believes she's an excellent ruler, and that rulers are necessary for a society to thrive. Like our previous Garnets, I'm making the leap that she can do your typical gem stuff. She's stronger, faster, confuse, bubble, yada yada. Pyrope can also use her prism to project holographic images to throw off her enemies in battle. She also uses a fan as a weapon, throwing it like a boomerang. The fan is definitely on brand with that outfit. If Pyrope is going to fight, it's going to be with an accessory that completes the ensemble. Pyrope fits the ideal of Garnet, as it's always that deep ruby shade that comes to mind. Its name is Greek, meaning fire and eye. This coloring is due to strong concentrations of magnesium and aluminum within the gem. Pyrope typically is free from flaws, with excellent transparency, making it an extremely sought-after gemstone for jewelry. This could have been an influence of Pyrope's feelings of superiority. She's close to perfection, as she has fewer inclusions and is quote-unquote the right color. Okay, the wildest thing I read about Pyrope was that it was considered a weapon against vampires and used in weapons in Asia. The gem is said to imbue the wearer with power and bestow upon them vitality, charisma, and promote an excellent quality of life. I I'd say these ideals, power, attempts at charm, and inclination towards the finer things, all pertain to our character Pyrope. Jury is out on how helpful they'd be in hunting vamps, though. I think I'll stick to garlic. Now, of course, these are just my thoughts on these garnets. What I want to know is, what do you think of them? Did I miss anything important? Is there a cool fun fact I missed? Hit me up with your hot takes in the comments below. Once again, I'd like to ask you to join NerdWire in our fundraiser for the Equal Justice Initiative. The Equal Justice Initiative is a nonprofit organization that provides legal representation for prisoners who may have been wrongfully convicted of crimes, for prisoners without effective representation, and others who may have been denied a fair trial. If you want to be part of the movement, there's a donation link below where you can send donations directly to the fund. Anything helps, and we're so glad that we can share this awesome opportunity to donate with you guys. If you want to learn more about the Equal Justice Initiative, you can visit their website at eji.org. Thanks for watching, y'all. See you, Space Cowboy.